This is Leo Kerr standing in a field talking about the events of the past 2 weeks, and what a 2 weeks it's been. We've had like Black Lives Matters demonstrations taking off all around the world. And it's totally essential, by the way. We've totally got to deal with systemic racism and like make sure the police are restructured so they don't discriminate against black people. But white woke liberals took all of 5 seconds to start making it about themselves. Hollywood stars saw an opportunity to stay in the public eye and appear relevant by recording a heartfelt tribute to their own acting abilities.
I take responsibility for reminding casting directors that I can do heartfelt and serious and bring myself to the verge of tears while reading words from a piece of paper that's just beneath a camera. Is this fucking almond milk, Shanice? You're fucking fired!
Across social media, everybody quit their temporary positions as experts in viral epidemiology to suddenly become experts in civil rights activism. People who just the day before had been posting concerned that their neighbours were having a barbecue and as many as 6 people had turned up and weren't isolating properly and should have phoned the police. Ever notice these curtain twitching guys never have a chin? What is the link between not having a chin and being a little fucking grass? Well, these curtain twitchers suddenly started applauding the 60,000 people assembled in close proximity to protest against racism.
And people posted photos of 58 books on colonialism and white privilege that they're obviously never going to read. I mean, those books look tough as fuck. You couldn't even get through Harry Potter, for fuck's sake. If you have to read 58 books in order to not be a racist, you might have to face the fact that you might be a little bit of a prick. And some of these books are written by white people. White people are making millions of dollars off the back of Black Lives Matters by writing these books for other white people, telling them to micro-analyse every interaction they have with somebody who's a different ethnicity to them. Man, the last thing this situation needs is white people having even more of a stick up their ass when they're talking to black people.
And they posted lists of documentaries on Netflix that they're going to watch to make the world a better place. Oh my god, is that the sacrifice you're willing to make, you white woke liberal? You're going to sit in your ass watching TV? How are you going to get through it? Can I sponsor you for this? And loads of white people have been posted, if you're a racist, unfriend me now. Susan, you work in the arts and you live in Brighton. How come you know so many fucking racists? I mean, I'm from Scotland, even I only know about 3 racist tops. Have you been speed dating at BNP rallies or something? Some woke people have said that silence is violence. I mean, are we talking about addressing racial injustice here, or are we talking about farts? What's the next woke catchphrase going to be? Whoever smelt it, dealt it? And white people posted photos of themselves renouncing their white privilege. That's not how privilege works. You're still white. You've still got your privilege. Pretending to renounce your white privilege is just a performative action designed to make yourself feel better. It changes nothing. If anything, it's a huge privilege to pretend to renounce your white privilege. The only way you could actually get rid of your white privilege is by wearing blackface, and that is definitely not a good idea right now. And white liberals want to defund the police, because that's how you make something better, isn't it? You defund it. Isn't that a Tory party policy? Haven't they been criticised for doing that with all public services over the years? If planes were falling out the sky because their engines were failing, the first thing you do is defund the maintenance teams until they got it right, isn't it? White woke liberals saying, oh, defund the police. Man, if the police weren't there, your skull would be being used as an ashtray right now. And white people have been doing these big, long Facebook posts to get loads of likes and signing off like they're Obama addressing an enthralled United Nations. I am ready, I am willing, I am learning, I am an ally in training. One guy's told us 5 times in the past fortnight that he's listening and learning and becoming a better person. It's like, just become a better person then. You don't need to tell us about it. And as a white person, it's difficult to know what to do. Like some of my black friends have been saying it's time for all white people to speak up and support. Other black people have been saying it's time for us to shut up and listen. It's like, I hope everybody understands what a difficult time this is for me right now. And there's been some fantastic poetry posted by white people. The sort of poetry that if you read it out at a spoken word night at an arts cafe, it would definitely cure everybody in that arts cafe of racism.
I'll fight these systems that keep you oppressed, because when I read about them in The Guardian, it makes me depressed. Solidarity with my beautiful black brethren. Our skin may be different, but our tears are the same color within. Only when there are no police prejudiced will I desist. I progress on the basis that everything is racist. My white privilege is a shield I renounce. I have the bravery to pronounce ethnic names correctly. I denounce slavery and eat food that is flavory by the ounce. I am your white savior.
You might think I'm mean picking on all these white people who are just trying to do the right thing, but I think when white woke people get involved and try and do stuff, half the time it makes things worse. White people have been removing much-loved TV shows. Come Fly With Me, Little Britain, Mighty Bush, Vic and Bob, Bo Selecta, Ant and Dec's Saturday Night Takeaway, Benidorm, and there's some good ones being cancelled as well. The League of Gentlemen and Fawlty Towers. Removing much-loved comedy shows like this just plays into the far-right narrative of white British culture being under attack. They're even talking about cancelling Only Fools and Horses. I mean, why don't you just shit directly into the Queen's mouth, for fuck's sake? And all these TV show cancellations, they're all being done by white executives in the BBC and in Netflix and other media organisations. This is why we need more black people in positions of authority and power within the media. They won't make these stupid decisions based on white guilt. And frankly, if we had more black TV executives, I'd have a chance of getting on TV. Even Paw Patrol has come under attack because of its unrealistic depictions of friendly police officers. I mean, unrealistic. They're talking cartoon dogs. And woke liberals have been attacking historical figures for not having the correct 2020 woke liberal views. They want to tear down the statue of everyone from the 1800s who wasn't an intersectional feminist running an online support group for genderqueer BAME activists. Yeah, people in the old days were often racist, because it was the old days. Everybody was a cunt back then. We're all just hobbling around full of typhoid and syphilis and eating turnips and chucking witches off cliffs. Man, none of us actually knew who these statues were. We're all sniffing glue at school when we were told. British people only ever use statues for putting a traffic cone on and taking a piss behind when we're drunk. Instead of tearing down these statues, can't we just change the head so it's somebody that everybody likes, like Terry Wogan or the lead singer from Mungo Jerry? You could have replaced the statue of the slave trader in Bristol with one of Michael Jackson. Nobody would have noticed. Michael Jackson saw this coming, by the way. He built his statues to float. That is a smart man. And woke people say that statues should reflect contemporary views, but contemporary views are contemporary. They change every few days at the moment. Why don't we just have a 3D printer in every village and we can update the statue on an hourly basis based on Facebook likes? Churchill's memorial in London was graffitied because of his apparent racism and white supremacy, and I'm not arguing that he wasn't a racist, but that's not why he's an icon in the UK. He's an icon in the UK not because he was an intersectional feminist, but because he defeated the most evil organisation of all time. I'm talking about the Labour Party. No, I'm talking about the Nazis. He beat the fucking Nazis. Oh my God, if you don't like Churchill, wait till you find out about the fucking Nazis. And the next weekend, people came out to defend Churchill's memorial and other war memorials from being desecrated again. And then woke people said that these people defending the war memorials, they're Nazis. And I was all ready to say, well, I don't think they are Nazis, because, I mean, they're defending war memorials that are memorials to people who defeated the Nazis. But then the people who are defending the memorials to people who defeated the Nazis actually started doing Nazi salutes. And I was like, oh, fuck. Maybe woke people have got a point. It's kind of mad that if Churchill came back, he'd see his memorial being defended by people doing Nazi salutes. It's like a Mad Simpsons episode or something. And woke people have been defending the physical damage to war memorials, saying, oh, it's just physical damage, it can be fixed. I didn't realise you'd be so cool with me shitting on your mum's grave. I mean, it'll wash you off, you fanny. Antifa seem to have been behind a lot of the violence and the desecration of war memorials, and they say that they're good because they're anti-fascist, but that's just a name. Like, it doesn't really mean anything. I could go on Tinder and call myself Big Dick Leo. It doesn't mean that my dick's any bigger. It just means that I've called myself Big Dick Leo. It turned out that pulling over statues, defacing war memorials, cancelling comedy shows, and calling everyone a racist didn't eliminate racism in the way that woke people hoped. Right-wing agitators responded to all these statues being pulled down by starting a petition to have a statue of Gandhi pulled down in Leicester. Former MP for Leicester, Keith Vaz, responded by saying, "This is a dreadful petition that seeks to divide communities. It incites racial hatred." Yep, that's what pulling down statues does. And loads of corporations have been using their social media platforms to support Black Lives Matters, which is great. It's raising awareness and it's putting pressure on the government and public services to make lasting changes, and it's getting the corporations some free advertising as well. But it was kind of ironic when some of them tweeted in support and their business was literally on fire in the riots as they tweeted. And some companies that I didn't even think were racist in the first place are taking steps to combat racism within themselves. Yorkshire Tea said that they're taking steps to address racism within their company. It's like, you manufacture tea bags. How are you manufacturing tea bags in a racist way? All your tea's grown in the hills of Yorkshire anyway. If history has taught us anything, it's that marginalised, oppressed people are their own best advocates. Just sit back and let them do the talking, you woke fucks. Martin Luther King's iconic "I have a dream" speech wouldn't have been improved by some white woke liberal in a Black Lives Matter t-shirt barging him out the way to tell everybody about a dream that they had. Oh yeah, Martin, that's really interesting, but we're going to park that for a moment because I just want everybody to know about a dream that I had last night in which I rode a giraffe and made a sandwich for Trini and Susanna. I think that white woke people getting involved just makes things worse. Tearing down statues, desecrating war memorials, ostentatiously self-flagellating and performative self-promotional social media posts, attacking people for the most minor misspeak or transgression, even attacking people who are trying to do the right thing but they just don't phrase their support for Black Lives Matter in the correct woke way, cancelling much-loved TV shows. I mean, some of this is alienating to Middle England and some of this is patronisingly othering to black people, and all of it is a self-congratulatory pat on the back from woke people to themselves for being so noble and woke. None of it actually helps. Patrick Hutchinson, though, is a genuine hero. He put himself in harm's way to try and help somebody who might be ideologically opposed to himself, might be trying to fight him, might hate him. He stepped into harm's way to help that guy and save his life. People are like, oh yeah, but he's wearing combat gloves. Yeah, he's wearing combat gloves. There's people there who want to kill him. Of course he's wearing fucking combat gloves. But he saved the guy from being killed. I think he did more than anyone to heal this nation and give us some hope after all the fussing and fighting. And the way 2020 is going, it wouldn't be too much of a plot twist if Patrick Hutchinson is the next James Bond. I'm up for that.